squish your eyes, okay? Are you good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I want you to listen to me and do only what I say, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Follow me. Okay, stop, Miko. The first thing you're going to learn when it's time to listen to Jesus, and you can tell it's Jesus, is because the Lord will be very specific. When I said follow me, some of you started laughing because you're thinking, she can't see you. Some of you have started to say you're following Jesus, you can't see him. And one of the reasons the Lord knows that you're not following him is because you're not waiting on his instructions specifically. There are some things that God will want you to have, and you've got to hear him through. Now, Miko, take about 4 steps forward real easy. Okay. Take 2 steps forward. Now wait. Bring your other foot up to meet your right foot. Now I need you to step up and over and forward. Good. Stop. I need you to take a left turn, Miko, and take 2 steps forward. Okay? I need you to raise your right foot and step forward. Good. I need you to move your right foot a little bit to the right. Good. Take your left foot and move forward. Step up, of course. Now, step your right foot over again. Good. I need you to bring your left foot up with your right foot. We're going to go Gucci crunching. Step to the left a little bit. Take your right foot and step again forward, up and over. Keep moving. Relax your arms. Trust me. Forward with your left foot. Start, walk, take about 7 steps forward. Very confidently, move forward. Go like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Stop. I want you to take a huge step forward with your right foot. You're going to hear, yeah, good job, Miko. Bring the other one around. Yeah. I need you to step to your left, Miko. Step forward. Forward. Step to your right. I need you to take 1 step backwards, Miko. I need you to squat down as low as you can. As low as you can. Sometimes God won't set things up until he knows you're listening to him. Sometimes you want God to say, God, set it up and I'll go. God says, go and I'll set it up. If your steps are ordered by God, isn't there a possibility that God knows exactly what trouble you're in right now? If Miko knew how silly she looked, she wouldn't be where she is right now. Sometimes God says, trust me, I can't even let you see how ridiculous you look when you operate by faith. Is there anybody? I'm talking too loud. I'm talking too loud. Sometimes when you live by faith, you look ridiculous. Really? As cute as I am, as pretty as I am, as dignified as I am, you got me sitting on a can with my hands up. I didn't tell her to put her hands up. She did that on her own. Sometimes when you start to follow Jesus, there are certain things that set you apart that let folk know exactly who you're listening to. Miko, stand up. On forward. 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop, Miko. Take 3 more steps forward. 1, 2, 3. Stop, Miko. I need you to walk up some stairs for me. Take about 7 steps. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Turn to your left, Miko. Turn to your left again. Miko, how did you get where you are?
I walk by faith, not by sight.
Okay. Now, Miko, that's cool. But there's some real people in this house.
I was listening.
Who were you listening to?
Pastor, I was listening.
Okay. I gave you a word. Do you have any idea of where you are?
I'm on top of the altar right here.
Okay. Did you know that's where you were headed?
No.
Okay, good. I need you to take 1 step sideways to your left.
Miko, turn around to your right. Keep going. Keep turning.
When you start listening to God, Satan will start speaking like God. You're going to have to learn when you come to church, God will show you that my sheep know. Now y'all, let me teach the lesson. Let me. I need somebody.
Miko, how you doing? Hey, come on down them steps and come talk to me. Come on, Miko.
Miko knows she desperate.
Come on, Miko. I got something for you. I got what you've been looking for.
Miko. Come on, girl. Let's go. Come on. Come on down these stairs. Come on. Can you hear me? Do you trust me? Well, why are you talking to me then?
See, all Satan's got to do is get your attention. He's real sweet. All he needs is a conversation. I hear you. We're going to preach in a minute, but you don't get it yet. Some of y'all came for sweet church. I'm trying to talk. Somebody's waiting for a breakthrough today. And you're sitting up there and you don't know how you got there. You've been trusting God. Everybody's looking at you. And now all the spotlight is on you. You've been wanting to be the center of attention. But God said, nah. You don't have to be a star to be in my show.
Oh, that's so real. You set it up. My.
Miko, take 1 step down.
Jesus.
Miko, take another step down.
Miko, take a step up.
Miko, take a step down.
Miko, take a step up.
Take a step down.
Step to your right, Miko.
Take a left.
Miko, come back to
Turn
your
to
left.
your
Come
right.
back to your left, Miko.
Come
Come
on,
to your
Miko,
left,
turn
Miko.
to your left.
Miko, I need you to come to your left.
Miko,
I need you to turn to your left, Miko.
Turn to your
Miko,
right,
I need you to
Miko.
step down. I need
Miko,
you to step
listen to
down
me.
quickly, Miko.
Miko.
See, when you start following, hear all the voices now. Now you're distracted because you want to hear from God, but the devil won't shut up. Some of you are where you are now because God knows he's speaking to you, but the devil says, I'm not cutting you loose. None of this would be happening if Miko could see me. But because she's got to hear my voice, because she's got to trust me. Sometimes you think that the preacher in the church is being mean because they're saying, go to church, Stop dialing in so much. Stop tuning in so much. Go to church. Be there, because God said faith cometh by hearing. And when Satan knows you can stay home and cook bacon and eggs and lay in the shower and sit by the pool, sometimes you get distracted when God says, I need you to sit right in my presence, because Satan will sound like he's glad you're having church, but he knows you're not among the saints. Miko, have a seat right where you are. In St. John, the story today, it bothered me because I didn't quite comprehend all the time when I'm reading it. Been preaching 40 years now. Didn't quite get this until the last few weeks when I'm trying to avoid teaching it, because I'm having a problem with God and this word now. Because sometimes when you go through something, you say, God, look, I've been doing this for years. God says, well, you've been knowing math since you were a boy, but you ran away from trigonometry and calculus. The numbers are the same, but the problems get a little different. After you get numbers down, then you start getting into word problems. Some of you sitting here today, you're having word problems. And the reason you're having word problems now is because you didn't get the basic numbers down early. You still don't see how God can take 0 and tell you to give 10% of what you have and make 100 out of it. See, you got a numbers problem. And so now that you're in your 40s and 50s, when you need some word figured out, you got stifled and you got trampled upon in the numbers division. Now look at Miko and let's talk about this man. He's sitting at this pool for 38 years. I thought Jesus at first, my story was a little bizarre, and I thought the story was too good to be true. Then I realized something. The Bible calls this man an invalid. And I realized this is really not the story about an invalid in Jerusalem. Choir, this is a story about you. Ushers, this is a story about you. Technical crew, hospitality team, video team, aquatics team, members of the deep, people in the congregation. This is a story about you. You see, I didn't quite get the story because I kept trying to make this the story about somebody else. And when you look at it being about somebody else, it seems to be something you can turn the page on. It's a story about me. The fellow isn't nameless. He has a name. What's your name? Say your name now. That's his name. He has a face. It's your face. He has a problem, just like ours. So Jesus encounters the man at this large pool north of the temple in Jerusalem. It's about 360 feet long. It's about 130 feet wide. It's about 75 feet deep. There are columns and porches over the water. It's a place where wealthy people go. It's a place that rich people built, but it's a place where sick and afflicted, diseased people stay. You walk in your church. It's a place that was built with money you couldn't afford. But some people won't come back because when they walk in, they don't see the political. They don't see the visual millionaires. I said visual. Because from where you sit, somebody smells here. Somebody's deformed here. Somebody sounds ignorant there. And all of a sudden, around this wonderful place that you call a temple, God has filled it up with sick and diseased people. In other words, you. Your stuff may not be physical, but it's internal and it's still there. And you've been sitting in it for 38 years. For 38 years, he was sitting in it for 5 years. Then he went to 10 years. Then he went to 15 years. Then he went to 20 years. And it's a problem that he always had. And it's a problem that people got used to. Whatever your issue is, maybe you've always had it, and now people have gotten used to it. And it seems amazing because that's where some of us start doubting God, because if God knew about it, if God knows about it, God hasn't fixed it. But have you ever noticed that even though God knows about it, God was there when it started, he still hasn't left you? Maybe your problem has a time limit on it. And maybe your doubt is starting to show through what you call your faith. Where are my friends? This place in the Bible is called Bethesda. Everybody say Bethesda. It could be called the Galleria. It could be called Central Park. It could be called Parkland Hospital. It could be called Baylor Hospital. It could be called Gentlemen's Club. It could be called Silver City. It could be called Fat Thighs. It could be called Popsicle Toes. It could be called, I'm going to get to your club in a minute. I know I'm getting warm. Some of y'all, oh shoot. He going up 75. He just went down through. I'm done. Now to you that have been saved a long time, you're like, I don't know what that is. God bless you. It could be a homeless shelter up under a bridge. It could be under an overpass downtown that was built by people so that folk coming into our city could go over the plight of our city, not see the filth under the bridges, because we want to paint a picture of Dallas as a place where the affluent are, but sometimes those who have fallen from good standards of close friends, one paycheck away, are now living underneath the city and not over the city. It could be IBOC Church. It could be Presbyterian Church. It could be Mount Olive Baptist Church. It could be any collection of hurting people. They call it Bethesda. What do we call ours? Because when I look around at where I go, when I look at what I see Bethesda all over again. I still see a place where sick people come and well people passing by. I still see a place called Bethesda, but we give it another name called Uptown. We give it another name. We put it in another place. And the people don't come with sores. They don't come paralyzed, but they're still diseased, except the new disease is alcohol or it's drugs or whatever it is. And wherever it is and wherever it is, they all come together because they're all hurting people. Sometimes we like to call it something different because we want to make sure that whatever we name it, we make sure to not go there. But just because you don't check into rehab does not mean that you don't need to be rehabilitated. And just because your problem is not being blind doesn't mean that you still can't see. And just because you're popular doesn't mean that you have any friends. Some of you had to contact strangers to chat with you and ask them, would you be my friend? Because you have nothing in your life you think going for you that could make people not have to be asked by you, but eventually discover you and find out that you are more than their friend. They can be your friend if you understood what the standards of friendship was. So as a result, you have teamed up with people who don't exist in a personality that is not real. And you judge your popularity by the amount of followers you have, but you're not leading anybody. Because everybody following you is under the name of somebody else, and we're all invalids. And maybe we had to be hurting pretty bad to go and ask people to be our friend. So at this place where all of these hurting people were, remember the place could be called whatever you decide to call it. Well, I'm not like that. I'm a member of so-and-so fraternity or sorority. It's still hurting. They're hurting people. Stand up, Miko. Step to your left. You turn to the left. Turn back forward. Now step to your left. Thank you. Step again. Step down one step. Now sit down again. Take your right elbow and prop it up. Put it by your side. Put it behind your back. Now lean on it. rock with it. Sometimes in me waiting on God to do something for me, God will give me instructions just to keep me comfortable wherever I am. I have to keep listening to Him. 38 years.